Hey guys, welcome to Community Talk, a podcast designed to connect people closer together within the communities in which we live. I'm your host, Peter Jennings, professional realtor with Urban Real Estate in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This episode of Community Talk is brought to you by One Love Float. One Love Float exists to help floaters accomplish three things: connection, healing, and empowerment. One Love Float wants you to unplug from the world and plug into yourself. And they want you to do it in a welcoming environment where you can trust them to help you float away and find yourself. Whether you have a type A personality or the type of personality that does this all the time, One Love Float are here to help you experience soulful weightlessness and rediscover the best in yourself. If you're curious about what floating is, check out One Love Float now at onelovefloat.com and on Facebook and on Instagram. And as a little side note, I float all the time. I float as much as I can. I love One Love Float. I recently went last week, and one thing I love about floating is that you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Now let me give you a specific example. When I went last week, I found that I was kind of in a lag, and I needed to be more productive. I wanted to be more productive. And so Trika, owner of One Love Float, suggested a productive meditation. So I went into the tank and I floated for an hour and had to listen to this productive meditation, and I've been on fire ever since. I've been killing it, guys. And I give all the credit to One Love Float. Floating, it's beautiful. It's everything. So check it out today, onelovefloat.com, or actually just get in your car and go see Trika now at One Love Float. Get going. Next sponsor of Community Talk today is Red Mile Moving. Love these guys. Why I love Red Mile Moving is that they are a local company in Calgary, but they understand that moving is incredibly stressful. And it's an expensive process, and from all the hours that you already put into packing, organizing, and cleaning, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, and Red Mile Moving makes moving easy and affordable, which is super important. So using highly trained movers, you can always rest easy knowing that Red Mile Moving is handling your move. And they specialize in local moves, long-distance moves, and professional packing, and much, much more. Red Mile Moving always goes the extra mile for you. Visit www.redmilemoving.com right now for the full directory of services, or call 403-690-3888. Adam, love the guy. He's try and use Red Mile Moving all the time. I always suggest them to my clients if they want the best, the quick, easy, painless solution to moving. Whether you're moving out of a place and moving back in, they'll help you with all of it. So yeah, give Adam a call at Red Mile Moving and mention that I sent you, and he'd be happy to help you. Let's get to the episode today. Very, very excited about this one. This episode, what I want to talk about is actually inspired about me using Snapchat last week. So I was at a home inspection with a client of mine. And just to briefly explain, if you're buying a house, I'm going to talk about why you should be getting a home inspection. So I'm going to talk about why you should always get a home inspection when buying a home today. And why Snapchat inspired this was a realtor's not really that involved with a home inspection. They're there to let the home inspector, do his job, his or her job, and but really just kind of opens the door and locks up after, and is negotiates if needed after the report. But so I'm sitting there, I'm reading my book, and I just thought it'd be a good idea to for all the people following me on Snapchat that just some quick tips. So I went over 3 or 4 quick tips of why you should have a home inspector, and that inspired me to go into making this podcast, because there was a lot more reasons why you should get a home inspection that tie into what I mentioned on Snapchat. But also, that being said, if you missed out on Snapchat, you should be following me, because you miss out on all this great stuff that it is just spur of the moment, so you don't have to wait for the podcast sometimes. But I'll talk about that later. But let's get to the meat of the episode, why you should always get a home inspection when buying a home. So the number one reason why you should get a home inspection when purchasing a home is that it's your biggest investment, guys. Not a lot of people buy a lot of real estate in their lifetime, and even if it's your first time, you're not familiar with it. It's a big investment. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars here. So you definitely you don't want to skimp out on the hundreds of thousands of dollars. You will spend anywhere between $350 to $500 for the right home inspector, but I know that's a lot of money, but it's always worth it because in the long run, it's going to be it's another part of the investment when it comes to buying a home. Second reason you should get a home inspector is that the general safety. You've kind of potentially found a home that you like, but the home inspector is really going to look at the house from a real safety standpoint. Are railings intact? Height of decks, permits required, even carbon monoxide and looking for mold and stuff like that. So that's a really important aspect if you're looking to purchase a home, especially maybe an older home. Sometimes the roof leaks and, some damages there and the other, the sellers weren't aware of it kind of thing, right? So that's another reason why you should be getting a home inspection is the safety aspect of that. Another reason is that they're not emotional about the home. So I really like this, is that they really look at the home impartially. And that's definitely in your best benefit for the fact that if you've kind of fallen in love with the home, you're already in a step where you're trying to envision yourself in the home, and that's really great. But you can really sometimes that can put you in the situation of overlooking some things that might be important and eventually very cost effective. So I really like that a home inspector is not going to be emotional about the home because they're not buying the home. The home is for them to go check out and really, again, look for these safety concerns and other things like that. So they're not emotional about the home. They check the structure of the home. This is a really important point too because, again, I mean, really any home, if it's a newer home, stuff like that, any home should be checked, but especially in an older home, if we're talking like in the 60s, the 80s, even depending kind of like where the home is placed and stuff like that. So, they check the general structure of the home, which is super important. They also, getting the home inspector done, or getting a home inspection done, they're ultimately forecasting future home maintenance for you. So, apart from, looking for the safety things, they're checking all of the appliances and, the furnace and all those other things that really pertain to the home that are going to be important, that give you a really good idea and tool of what you might have to budget for in the future if, something has to be replaced 5 years down the road. They give you a really good idea of how things are working and how long they still should be working, and the general lifespan of them, of appliances and things like that. So they help you forecast future home maintenance for you, which is, again, super important. Ultimately, throughout the process of a home inspector or the home inspection, a home inspector, they teach you how to protect the investment as well. A lot of them allow you to go side by side with them as they do the home inspection, and they answer any questions that you might have, because not all of us know everything about homes, right? So it is super important that you kind of show up and you have those questions, because you probably will on the spot. So they're there to educate you, much like a realtor is there to educate you in the process of purchasing or selling a home and executing it. So they'll give you tips and tricks about how to maintain a home and ways that you can potentially save thousands of dollars in the long run. So that's super that's awesome. I love that. I know some really good home inspectors that they'll answer anything, and they're super knowledgeable, and you leave that home inspection with confidence based on the information that they give you, it's super important. And there's nothing more feeling better about being confident when purchasing a home as well. Ultimately, another reason is that they do reveal the big picture of the home. So everything I've just mentioned with the safety and the structure and the forecast of the home maintenance, it does ultimately reveal the big picture of the home for you and whether you would maybe want to move forward with that house. Or one of the next reasons why I love home inspections is that it gives myself, the realtor, a negotiating tool to potentially save you more money or get some specific things fixed if they're not working correctly. So the reason why this is an advantage is because if you don't know or have like an actual professional with even the report getting it done, you'll never find out if anything is broken, and B, it is coming from a credible source, so it allows the realtor, myself, or any other realtor to actually present the report and say, we found this from the professional that these are problems, and then you would talk about what you would have to do, maybe a price reduction or getting it repaired, things like that. But that's why it's super important to get a home inspection too. It's a wicked negotiating tool for us realtors to try and save you more money or get something fixed or repaired that might need to be done, and save you ultimately the hundreds or thousands of dollars in the long run. So that is all of the reasons I have why you should get a home inspection. I'm sure there's plenty more, but those are the main points why you should be getting a home inspection, guys. It is such a big deal when you're purchasing your home, and it's exciting, and there's a lot of things that are happening, and that's why you should hire a realtor as well that will help guide you along the way, and that will let you know about these things, because you're not really, how should you expect to know if you've never done it before? So home inspections are super important. They are part of the real estate process, but those are a lot of the reasons why you should be getting one if you are thinking about purchasing a home. I guess before I finish it off too, there is an advantage to getting a home inspection even if you're selling your home. The advantage of getting a home inspection before you sell your home is that it can really give you a checklist of things that you might want to maintain and fix before actually listing, so that the house is in top-notch order and that you know with confidence that none of those things will be a problem moving forward. And you can always offer that up if someone's interested with an offer, or just offer it up in the first place, and people, it might save them a little bit of money, but they also might give you top dollar for your home because they know that, again, a professional has come in and checked the home and there's a report proving that. And maybe if you did do the fixes, you can prove with receipts and things like that the fixes are in place or the permits were done based on those things. So that's a huge advantage for a seller too. But again, it's always up to the individual. But those are the reasons why you should be getting a home inspection. Thanks for joining me today, guys, on this episode of Community Talk. I am, again, your host, Peter Jennings. Please visit my website, yychomesearch.ca, for more information about myself and my services. And a big thank you to the sponsors, One Love Float and Red Mom Moving. You guys are awesome. Love that you're supporting the community, and love supporting you guys back, too. So make sure you guys check out Red Mom Moving and One Love Float. If you feel like you or someone you know would like to be a guest or a sponsor on Community Talk, send me a private message, guys, or email me at discoverpeterj@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to the podcast on soundcloud.com under Community Talk. I'm also on Facebook and recently on Snapchat and Instagram. I'm all over those platforms. Find me on Facebook under Peter J. Professional Realtor. You can find me under Snapchat at PJ_Realtor and Instagram PJennings51. I'll put links into the description of the episode as well, but make sure you check it out, connect with me, and love connecting with you guys back too. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys around the community.